Good evening, great and glorious people of the internet, and welcome to this evening's completely unplanned, quick and dirty, if you like, stream of SimAirport in career mode. We're on episode 8 now. Reason for tonight's quick stream is obviously I missed yesterday, so apologies for that, and I have the opportunity to come and do this evening, so I thought, well, why not, given everything that's going on at the moment. It's good for me to take some time and have a bit of fun, and hopefully anyone that wants to come along and enjoy it can do so. So thank you very much. If you're joining me live on Twitch, please feel free to say hello. Always welcome any chat in the chat stream, and I'll do my best to interact with you. And for anyone that's watching video on demand, either on Twitch or on YouTube, thank you very much for your time. Appreciate your support. Please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, follow, whatever the hell it is you want to do or not do, and dislike if you so choose. I do always appreciate any comments you might give to help me build this channel and stream up, and obviously I'll do my best to incorporate any feedback you might give. Last time we played, we got ourselves in a bit of a sticky situation, so I decided to add fuel at the back end of the last stream, which wasn't the original plan, but I thought, well, the airlines are asking for it, we've got some cash, let's get on and do it. We were okay cash wise when I chose to do that. However, I hadn't really thought it through, so we've added the fuel system in. We've got a fuel depot, we've got a fuel tank, and we added a hangar with a couple of fuel trucks and a fueling station. Now the problem with this is, and I did not realise it at the time, when I set up the fuel settings, which I think are up here, we go, I said I want a recurring order, and I didn't really realise that basically what that does is, like it or not, and regardless what else you do with the settings, that fills up whatever capacity you have in your tank system, which is 90,000 litres. At a price of, what is it, $1.40 per litre at the moment. So it's pushing on for what, $120,000 or whatever to fill up the system. However, because I had a couple of fuel trucks, they then instantaneously went and filled themselves right up, which basically pretty much emptied the tank, and then straight away again we get another fuel delivery at midnight, topping the tank back up. And we've had a couple of planes come in and refuel, and since that we're now down to having 27,000 litres in the reserve. And they're going to want to fill up again at midnight tonight, and there'll be a couple of planes that refuel. Now, we are making profit at 5% on that fuel, but the cash outlay has put us significantly negative on cash. I'm just going to start the game running here. So if we look at the P&L, I can't find the screens. What am I doing? Clicking everywhere apart from the right screen. Let's get rid of this nonsense. Right, on to here, money. Let's have a look at the P&L for the previous day. So we did all the building, and we outlaid 172,000 in fuel costs. Now, we would have been fine if it weren't for that. Income of 232, but expenses obviously completely mullered us, so we went to 166 negative. Now, my concern is, and the reason why this is basically a get back in the black or go bust episode, is we've got 44 hours, or less than 2 days, in which to get back in credit. There will be 2 more fuel deliveries in that time period unless I turn them off, and even if I do turn them off, we will sell fuel, which will help, but we won't necessarily sell enough fuel to get us back in profit. So the options are build nothing, let the fuel deliveries happen, we'll probably go bankrupt. Do nothing, turn off the fuel, we might just about sell enough fuel to go back into credit in 44 hours, or get on with taking out a loan now whilst our credit rating's still okay, and see if that sees us through. Now, I think that's the best option because our interest rates are still very, very low. We only need 100,000, less than 100,000 to get us back in credit. So I'm going to borrow 100,000 more, which is a real shame because I was trying to pay this loan down. We'll apply for the credit. We should get a loan in the 0.5 to 1% range. So that would only put a worst case scenario, put our daily interest up by 1,000. So let's see what that does. Yeah, 0.04. So we're going to do that. our loan repayments go up to 2.8, but we're now at least back in credit. So, but our credit worthiness has now obviously taken a bit of a hit. So what we're basically going to do this episode is run time on to start with, and pretty much full pace, and see how, if the airport's profitability is enough that we can continue this pattern of buying and selling fuel. Now that we've done it once and we've kind of borrowed the money to pay it off, I'm hoping that we earn enough money during the course of the day that when we come to buy fuel at midnight, we will still remain positive. If not, the countdown clock will reset to 48 hours before bankruptcy, and we'll just have to hope that in day two we get to the same point. I think this is the right way of doing it. We're not over borrowing. We're just basically offsetting that initial setup cost of buying all the fuel to get the network running. If I look at predicted fuel for today based on that 5%, it's saying that about 2.5% of 2.5 of our 36 flights, so 2 or 3 of our flights today will refuel, and that will use between 21,000 and 45,000 litres of fuel. Now, a flight has already just refueled, and it's taken us down to 14,000 litres, but we will have made obviously some serious cash from that. This is the flip side of the situation we're in, is that when we do sell the fuel, it's serious income. But we've got to be prepared for the fact that we're going to outlay for 90,000 litres at midnight every day. So we need to have probably about 110,000, if not slightly more, available at midnight to stay in the black. Now, it's 8 o'clock in the morning and we're at 107,000. So I think what we've done is actually sufficient. So fingers crossed, that will mean that we can then crack on and do other things. And the small panic is over. But I don't really want to outlay today until I'm absolutely sure that that is the case. So we'll see how we go. We'll see how we go. I'm quietly confident that we have rectified the situation with minimum drama. So flight schedules for today so far, everything's running very well. There are no major watch-outs, I don't think. I mean, this 116 in a little while, we'll make sure that goes through okay. There's no big flights at the end of the day, so pretty much if that one goes through, then we shouldn't have any issues with getting our bonus, and that will help massively. We're now on our 5th consecutive day of achieving the bonus. And we're at 36 flights a day fairly consistently. For those of you that are watching the last stream, we had this little blip where for some unknown reason the passenger missed a flight. We don't know why. I thought it was to do with security, so I've brought security back in the morning. Left security working a little later in the evening to prevent that happening. We've also since then installed the PA systems, so that should really help to make sure that if a pax is in the airport, they get to their flight on time. Because the little beggars can be a bit naughty on occasion. That 116 was fine, so that's good. Let's have a look and see how we're doing on the P&L. And we're looking all right. So yeah, very good. Bank, that's on loan. Terminal fees, does that include? That's all terminal usage. I'm wondering where the old fuel is. Oh, there's fuel. It's a completely separate line, though. Very clear there. Fuel. That just says refueling services. Doesn't tell us how much we've actually sold, but 57,000's worth. So, and we have only 27 litres left in the network. But is that a fuel car? That's baggage. They're all baggage. Unfortunately, there's no way for me to see what's in these fuel trucks, and that's part of the problem. Is I don't know how much capacity is sat in the fuel trucks. There may be a way in some of the reporting somewhere that I just can't see, but it doesn't tell me on the fueling screen. Doesn't tell me there. Transport capacity. No, there's no obvious way of seeing where this fuel is sat. What I do know, though, is I am going to be buying 90,000 litres of fuel in 2 hours' time. 3 hours. 3 hours' time. Which won't take long to get to. However, 220 now in terms of profit for the day. That's not bad. Where is that? P&L, yeah. So yeah, 372 income, 79 outgoing. Most of that is staff, as you'd expect, and 293 net. So we're okay. We are making decent money. Oh, there's 100 grand of bank loan in there, obviously, as well. But we'd still be making nearly 200,000 profit even without the loan. So I think what we'll do is, if we get past, there's the fuel delivery. See, that dropped us down to 100,000 there. Let's have a look at that P&L again. So fuel, yeah, we bought 127,000 worth of fuel. So we need to keep an eye on this going forward now. We need to make sure that our outgoing on fuel, now that we've had a couple of days, our outgoing on fuel on a daily basis is less than our income. There is obviously a fee for the delivery, but it's minor. But you would expect going forward that whatever we sell will be what's replaced. Because we are now sat on 77. So again, those tankers took, our own tankers took from the 90,000 that we bought, took 20,000 straight away, just to keep them going. So we've now got to a point where they're nearly full at midnight, which is, we've got some capacity left in the network overnight. So I'm hoping going forward that means that income and expenditure will roughly match in theory, because we've set a 5% profit on the fuel. We should actually see a slight profit. Income should exceed expenditure on fuel. It's one of those things that's it doesn't make you a lot of money every day when you're small like this, and we probably shouldn't have done it so early, but it has the potential to turn a lot of money. But it's a huge initial investment, and I'm kind of kicking myself I didn't think about that before I did it, because I know that's a potential problem, and I don't know, I'd forgotten, I suppose, that it was a bit of a risk. However, we appear to have survived it. We are back in the black, so that means that this episode will not purely be about chasing money, and we can do some other bits and pieces. So we installed this office upstairs conference room in the office suite last time, which means we can start negotiating with airports when we so choose. However, what I'm keen to do now is, we're 114,000 at 6 a.m. We've had our daily bonus. I'm going to pay down half of that loan. I mean, half of what we borrowed yesterday, not half of the whole loan. I'm going to pay off. No, I'm going to pay off 100,000. I'm going to take us down to 200,000 loan, where we were before. We've survived the crisis. Let's see how we get on. If that gets back up to 100 grand today, I think that's more than enough to cover the fuel, so we should be fine. Slow down a little bit. So the next real big objective is to get the second floor built, but we are going to have to wait a bit, because that's going to cost a little bit of money. Our baggage system's working fine. We've got our little electrical room down here, which is doing the PA system, and that's got good coverage. So we're pretty stable right now. So I don't want to unnecessarily break things. Let's just make sure we did get our perfect ops bonus. I said we did, but yeah, we did actually get it yesterday. Good. So I'm going to have a look at working through these government grants again. We'll have a little look through what's available and see how we're doing. So we know we've already completed all the basic airport tasks. On passenger experience, we've done tier 1 and tier 2. Tier 3 requires building 5 stores and 2 first class lounges. We will get that done, absolutely no problem whatsoever, when we do the next when we build the next level of the airport. So that's not worrying me right now. Airline services. The request for the next tier is to load 10 planes with a functioning outdoor baggage system, build 2 large or extra large gates, and increase the overall airline interest to 70%. Well, the airline interest and the loading planes is not a problem. The issue is we're not in a position to put in 2 large or extra large gates without doing a significant expansion to the airport. So that is going to have to wait, which means that tier 3 will also have to wait. Investment. Now, this is possibly one that we might think about doing. There is an upfront requirement for an investment of $250,000. The return on that can be anything from 150 to 250. So you can either lose 100 grand, or as worst case scenario, or gain $250,000. I'm inclined to get that going at some point. The next time we're in a position where we have £250,000 spare, I'd like to do that. Dollars, sorry. And the final level of that is major money. It's invest 750,000. Risk is you only get 200 grand back, but potential benefit is 2.5 million. I'm not sure of the logic in the game as to how that pays out, or you know, how lucky you have to be to get a decent payout, but that seems to me like one you wait until you're proper rich before you try it. Airport efficiency. Now we've got we've done the PAs and the technology. The next level is to have 2 runways, both with 20 knot wind resistance, and a research upgrade buses for extra capacity. We could theoretically build the extra runway, and with the upgrades we've got on the runways, let's have a look at this runway. It's got a wind resistance of 20 knots. So as long as we do the same upgrades on this runway that we do, you know, and on the next one, then we'd be fine. My problem with this is I would want the next runway to run, ideally, to be down here, either running that way or running that way, or put it up here doing the same thing. Problem is, in order you'd want to run the taxiways so that you could get access top and bottom. Now, because this is, and this would have happened regardless of where we put the runway, you've got this gap at the bottom here, but it's only one taxiway wide, so we're going to have a doubling up. We're going to have potential clashes here. We would be all right around here. We've got clearance, but this is not a place where you want to put a taxiway. You want to go round the back of the lights, in my opinion. So really, to do this, we need to do the land expansion at the bottom here, and then that gives us options to put in the second runway with taxiways, be it a parallel runway or not. Doesn't really matter. It would just allow us to do that, and we can't cross the runway at the moment without doing the research either. So I think we have to wait really until we can do the land expansion on that one, which is a real shame, because it would be beneficial to get that in. The alternative is to build a loop around here, clear of the top of the runway here, put another parallel runway in with another taxiway that runs back the same way, and joins up to that. But then again, you're going to get a potential clash. When wind directions change, it could cause an issue. So we might just have to wait on that as well. Maximising profits. We've done this one. Oh no, apart from pay off a loan. Right. So the one thing that we really can do in terms of these objectives is to get debt free. And I think, to be honest, what we'll find is we'll whiz through that one. This one will happen because I'm pretty sure we're already getting at least 600 from advertising and 2,000 from retail, but we'll check that in a second. And then we're getting at least a net profits of 50,000 a day as well. So we could muller the profits goals, just because we have actually created a really profitable little airport. Just got a bit of the loan paid off. So let's keep time running. And try and focus on getting that. That's really today's goal then, is to be genuinely in the black. If anything comes up and we need to do expansions, we'll do it, but right now I don't think we do. Let's have a look at advertising. So we've got these digital, right, so that digital ad display's made 336 today. This one's made 320. I think we've got another one down here as well. We have. That's made 800. We've absolutely cleared that target of 600. In terms of retail environments, the store here, right, that apparel stand alone has made 600. That's a separate thing though. The store, I think retail's separate in the P&L, isn't it? So the target for the retail was $2,000 a day. Wow, income of 20,000, expenses of 2,900, net 17,000. We're okay on that, I think. Yeah, I think we can safely say that once we pay the loan off, that should not be a problem at all. Pardon me. Right, let's see how the flights are doing today. No dramas, no worries. Keeping an eye on that one though. 116 is the last flight of the day. That is the one that caught us out because the one passenger did not make the flight. And it was, again, it was about 115 passengers, I think, on the day that we failed. So I just want to be sure that gets out all right. We do not want to lose out on that bad boy. I tell you what, I think we can increase our prices again as well. Our airline rating is back up to 82%, which is phenomenal. Given that we're only using 3 airlines as well, we'll have a look and see what their price sensitivity looks like. Right, here we are. We're on to this last flight. I'm going to slow time down just a tad. Let's see how we get on here. We've got 30 in the queue. Variable number en route. $80. We're getting there. We've got 65 minutes before it's due to leave. Virtually got everyone on board or on their way now, I think. Yeah, everyone is going to... Yeah, we're absolutely fine. No problems at all. I think what it was literally because security had gone home last time. We closed for some reason. We had security leaving the airport before the other staff, which probably seemed the right thing to do when we were small, and it was when we were small. But now we've got these flights that come in so late, they actually kick into the next day before you start boarding. We just got to be a little bit more careful. Right, fuel was in then. I saw the fuel delivery come. And right, this time, no problems. All 90,000 litres are staying in the fuel tank, which means that the trucks are full. We had some spare at the end of the day, so that's good. So let's see how fuel did on day 38. Still negative by the look of it, net. So we sold 52,000's worth, we bought 64,000's worth, but that's a lot closer than it was before. So I think we're just about at the point now where fuel should start to tip to being profitable across today, which is excellent news. We have hit the perfect ops bonus again for day 38, so that'll pay out at 6 o'clock in the morning. We're at 88 grand already. Once that's paid off, I think paid out, if we've got over 100 grand at 7 a.m, then that 100 grand is going straight to paying off the loan. Which will be really, really good. I am interested, obviously, to hear what you guys that have been watching the streams and the VODs think. Haven't had a whole lot of comments so far. I mean, those I have had have been very positive, so thank you very much. But no real requests or any sort of detail around what you want to see, what you like, what you don't like. I mean, if you are enjoying the videos and you're happy to take the time, please do just take 5 minutes to give me some input on your thoughts, level of enjoyment, anything you want, anything you want to talk about, anything you'd like me to talk about. Do you want some more details about the game, how I'm playing it, why I'm playing it, anything you want. I'm more than willing to waffle on about any subject you choose, pretty much. As those of you that have watched the videos will clearly have figured out by now, I don't have a problem talking incessantly for hours on end. So more than happy to satisfy an interest there. Wow, okay, we are at nearly 200 grand at 9 a.m. Do you know what? We are going to take the risk, guys. We're going to pay off our loan in total as soon as we can. If we hit that 25 grand, we are going to pay it off, and we're going to take a chance that we earn enough throughout the day to pay off the fuel we purchase at midnight. And if we don't, well, we're gonna live with it. I think we're in a strong enough position now that we don't have to be in this situation, and we can start taking the other bonuses. We'll win a government grant straight away, which will give us a few more quid. Done. And we got £3 from the government for so doing, which is what I thought we'd get. So, okay, we're on to maximising profits. Right, now this one we should win straight away. Research lower income tax 2. That's the only outstanding objective on that, so we're going to do that. We've got the people to do it. And that helps us as well. Lower income tax saves us money in the long run. Job done. Unlocking. So that's going to take... I didn't actually read how long it was queued for. Yeah, I didn't see. It's probably going to be a 24-hour job, isn't it? We'll wait and see. We'll see how long it takes. Or is it done instantaneously? I don't know. No, it's happening. And that just leaves one level left in the maximising profits. We could have this done by the end of the day. That's 2 of our branches knocked off then on government grants, which would be excellent. And I think to be honest, given where we are with the airport, I know it's not the most interesting thing to watch on this stream, but it has to be done at some point. We'll just maybe see if we can knock off a few more research objectives to get ourselves in a place where we are as profitable as possible and we don't have massive outlays on research to do. So going forward, when we want to build something, we want to do something, we can just get on and do it, which is never a bad place to be. Let's have a look at how those airlines are feeling about us. Aerotime, 86%. Commercial fees are the bit they're least happy with, but it's still at 75%. Pacific Airlines are actually offering us a flight at the moment, which we can't take. Commercial fees, again, one of the lowest things, apart from trust. And I think trust is probably low because I think with the airline, where we had a passenger miss a flight, can't be comms because we've got the people in place, so they must have had a missed flight with us. And where are we? Where's Lerdyville? Still offering us flights, God bless them. Again, commercial fees, they're okay, 75%, that's not bad. So the fact that we're doing such a good job on everything else with them means I think we could probably push our luck a little bit on pricing. Once again. Where are we? I don't think it's in... No, it's not in here, is it? Is it operations? I think it must be. Commercial pricing. I'm inclined to knock this up to 900 and put the passenger fees up to 40. I'm going to do it. I'm feeling brave. So we're at 82 at the moment, 95% passenger. Just need to keep a little eye on that. Worth looking at this as well. So it's our big flights. Our biggest flight of the day today was 135. Now we've changed the prices, and we've still got some big ones, despite the prices going up. That's dropped. It's been over 100 a day, but that has dropped quite a bit. So we just need to... Oh no, it's updated. Oh yeah, okay, it's updated again. All right. Oh, that's because it's flicked to the next day, so it's gone up again. So it looks like we take a hit on the day that we increase the prices for the following day, but the day after has recovered. Flight numbers are, yeah, going to have stabilised. Good. And we've actually, the airlines have actually increased their happiness level, and the passenger level has increased, despite us charging a fortune. Right, oh, we've gone negative. We have not quite a full fuel network, but I guess that means we must have been profitable on fuel on the day for yesterday. Where are we? Fuel, yeah, 74 out, 53. Excellent. We've started to make some money. It will be a bit variable day to day because of this whole spare capacity in the truck. So as the tanker comes in, if the trucks aren't full, they're going to go straight away and fill up with the fuel that's being delivered, but the guy's never going to deliver more than the capacity of the fuel tanks. So yeah, we just there's going to be a little bit of variation day to day, but if it does mean we have to spend a bit more on the day, then that's because we had a really good sales day. So it should now start to level itself off. Let's hope at 6 o'clock we've got our perfect tops bonus coming in, because we're still negative at the moment. Yeah, perfect tops 43,000. Excellent. Research wise, we're nearly there now. It's nearly done. Looks like it was a 24-hour job. Doesn't actually, it just doesn't say how long it's got left, unfortunately. It's a bit of a shame. I'm sure it used to say, on some of them it says how much time's left. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Or maybe I've just got to look at a particular screen, I don't know. So something I'd like to get sorted out is credit reporting, so that we can get better information there. How are we doing here? Oh, maintenance is working okay, because that must have had some maintenance to be at 99%, which is good. I'd like to get maintenance sorted to maintain runways at like 95%, and the same with gates, because what can happen otherwise is you can end up in a situation where the maintenance window, obviously when maintenance is going on, you can't accept a flight on the runway, and if maintenance overruns because they've got too much to do in a night, then you can end up in a situation where you can't receive planes. So I'd like to get control over maintenance as one of the research things that we sort out. Look at this, 135,000. This is research almost done. Looks like it. So let's get that maintenance thing getting up and going. Yeah, repair thresholds are included in there, so that's underway. So this is accepted and queued. Why is that? Oh, right, okay. 8 hours required. Why is it queued? What else is... Can I pause that? Oh no, so that seems to have overridden getting this income tax level 2 sorted. Or have I done something wrong? I'm not quite sure if I've done something odd here. I don't know. I think we're going to have to wait for the maintenance to finish now. That's a shame. Strange. I'm not sure it's either that or the guy doing the research is tied up with airport duties, other airline duties, sorry. We'll just have to see what happens with that. How we getting on? Oh, wrong menu. Yeah, no problems at all today so far. Wouldn't really expect there to be any, but having been caught out a few times, it's best to keep an eye on it. I think we managed to sort our traffic issues, which is good. Yeah, drop-offs and departures, drop-offs and pickers we're having nice and separately now. There appear to be any issues there on our transport, as our not runways, fuel services, no, transport capacity. We are starting to get to a point where we're exceeding our capacity fairly regularly when you look at combined arrivals and departures. However, there is no point at which either arrivals or departures exceed our capacity in any 15-minute window, so we're still okay. But I think we can probably get away with that now until we expand the airport, which is good. Very good, in fact. you know what? This money's looking really good now. I'm inclined to say we could do that. Do that £250,000 investment for payback. Oh, whoa! Fuel just arrived. Forget that for another day. Yeah, just fell back up. We got 75,000 left in the tanks. P&L for the day. Fuel. 4-day 4C. Yeah, just well, we actually took a slight hit on that day. This is the thing. It's so there's so little margin in it that it bounces backward and forward like that. I think overall you do clearly make money with the settings we've got. We've got it tracking the market. So what it's saying here is you'll sell the fuels to the airline at the rate proportional to the fluctuating market price. Demand for a fueling service will remain relatively stable, but profit margin will fluctuate, which kind of makes sense. So they're always going to pay 5% above whatever the market value currently is. But we've got reserves on a basis of £1.155 per litre, and the market price is currently down at 1.111. So even with the 5%, we're losing money on that sale. If I'm reading that right, with fixed, fuel will be sold to airlines at a specific price, regardless of the current market rate. Demand for refueling services will fluctuate accordingly, but profit will remain stable. So, given that our fuel reserves currently cost us £1.55, I should then be setting this at, I don't know, 160 or something like that. And that might be a better way of doing it. It'll reduce the number of flights that accept it, but... Or do we stick with the track? I think we stick with the track at 5% above. We've just got to keep an eye on how much we're paying at midnight for that fuel. I think this is probably the best way of doing it. Whilst we've got small volumes of fuel, I think when we get to a stage at which we could potentially have multiple tanks and have millions of litres of fuel, you'd probably turn off the refueling option here. Excuse me, and just order in once every so often when the price is really low, and then set a fixed price for purchasing. So you know you're always going to make a bit of money. And if they choose to refuel, they choose to. If they don't, they don't. I think at the moment we're kind of in a place where we're better off tracking the market. It's just really unfortunate. We must have got really stung. At midnight last night to have paid £1.55 for the fuel when the market rate's down at 1.20. It's coming back up now, which is good, but yeah, we're just got to keep an eye on that, I think. But we're recovering nicely. We're still making money. Should never have gone with fuel. I think if it weren't for the fact that we had one airline that was basically demanding fuel, and the fact that we had the cash to do it, I wouldn't have done it. But live and learn. I'm looking forward to getting the Elder extension done right. Let's have a look at this. We are halfway through the day. We're at 280,000. We're gonna do the investment. We're investing 250,000, and in 15 days we will find out what that's done for us, which will be day 56. So probably going to be a couple of episodes time before we find that out, but here's to trying. Here we go. Right, so this one, we can unlock this now. We've researched. Oh, the research is finished. Great. Let's unlock that, and we've cleared that one straight away. So there's some more cash back in. So that's great. We've done maximising profits. We've done basic airport. The other ones are all dependent on expansions now, and because we've paid out that 250, I am going to start in this episode building up the top floor. So let's have a look at what that layout might need to look like. I think we're going to say pretty much everything that side of this wall is going to be the departure gate. I'm inclined actually to increase this and say everything that side, but then I don't think we give ourselves quite the space we want for all the retail. No, let's do it. So where's my planning tool? This isn't actually a wall I'm going to build, but I need to just get the representative straight line. There we go. Right, construct that foundation. I know it's going to look a bit silly for now because we've got toilets in the way down here and whatever else, but it will make sense in the future. It gives me the line I need upstairs for the departure lounge expansion. So then we're going to clear that off. They did that quickly, didn't they? No messing. That now means on the upper floor we have a big old area we can knock off all at once. So how much is that going to cost us? $759,500. What a bargain. Yes, that was sarcasm. Okay. It's fine. We'll just have to wait a bit for that. But once we've done that, we will very quickly be able to put in the upstairs gate desks, the flooring, and the stairwell to get up here. But that's the point. Where are we going to put the stairwell? We might have to kill these toilets temporarily, which might upset, unfortunately, some of the passengers, but, you know. That's kind of the right place, I think, to have the access to upstairs, because effectively once we start migrating this upstairs, this will all open up and become one big ticketing and security zone. So you'd naturally want to then finish that at the access to get upstairs, and then once they're up there, that's obviously departures. We'll have shops up here. We'll have departures here. We'll have the shops in this area, the cafe, etc. And then downstairs, we'll have stairs coming back down over here for pickups and baggage. And this basically will become the baggage area. And this will become one big pickups area. We'll join that up because we won't need the cafe down here anymore. And it'll be a much cleaner layout. And you might remember I said a couple of episodes ago, I'm curious as to your thoughts on, once we've matured this terminal and got it all organised, do we continue with this airport and look to put in a second terminal with extra runways and then go for large gates and extra large gates, or do we cut our losses, sell the airport, and use that money to build a bespoke, I say bespoke, sort of an airport that we can sort of set up straight away, the way we want it. This has obviously been bolt on after bolt on after bolt on, because you only start with $1 million, and by the time you built your runway, your taxiways, your gates, your road infrastructure, and got a basic terminal in, you don't have an awful lot of space. Our original terminal, if you remember, was barely this area here, with 2 gates on it. It was nothing, and as a result of that, everything has been a bolt-on since, and an expansion in its current location rather than sort of purpose-built and purpose designed. Now, if we have a look at the airport value, right now, so if we sold, we would get 1.65 million. We're already $500,000 ahead of where we were when we started this airport. I think if we can get that figure to several million, then there's a fair argument to say, well, actually, rather than continue to expand here, why not go and build a brand new airport, and then push on in that respect. But we'll see where we get to, and then I might put a poll up, or if any of you have chosen to comment in the meantime, then obviously I will take a look at those comments and see what the general consensus is as to the direction we should go in. So where are we now? 280,000. How did we get on the P&L yesterday? Day 41. 20 grand negative, although we'd laid out our 250 grand on the government grant. We made money on fuel, 14,000, which is good. And everything else kind of ticked along as usual. So yeah, we're only a little 5-gate airport and we've got income of 350,000, which is pretty good going. The airlines are still quite happy with us. In fact, they're even more happy with us than they were before we put prices up last time. Let's have a look at our passenger numbers. They've recovered very nicely. We're going to whack those prices up again, I think. Let's just see what the percentages are in terms of price satisfaction. Aerotime, 72. Pacific, 65. A little bit low. Lernyville, 72. Okay, we'll do it once more. I don't want anyone dropping below 60. So we'll do it once more and then we'll see what that does. Be nice to get to a nice round figure of where are we? Fees. Where's commercial pricing? Nice round figure of 1,000 for runway use and 50 for a passenger. Done. They are being done. Let's see how they feel about it. No immediate drop. Tomorrow's flight numbers probably will have taken a hit. Oh no, wow. Either it's not got through yet or they really don't care. Okay. Fantastic. So far so good. And that's just going to make us even more monies. Which, let's be honest, kind of the point of this type of game. It's no fun if you don't make money. I think this is one of those games that's in the initial phases is really challenging to get everything just right, get your costs balanced, and actually turn a small profit. But once you start making money, it seems to get progressively easier to keep making money. The danger is you can make bigger mistakes. Obviously, if you do mess up, as we've seen from what I've done a couple of times, you put yourself in a really sticky position. So you're still going to be very aware, even when you're making money, about the small changes that you're making. So, when we expanded to, I think it was the 4th gate, and we had that passenger that missed a flight, and it took away our perfect ops bonus, we were back to barely making anything on a daily basis. And obviously the fuel, if I'd have been daft, even more daft, and gone, oh, let's put in another fuel tank, we'd have been in real trouble. Or if I'd bought a 3rd tanker, then it would have been, I think, very difficult to recover from. But as it is, I think we've done all right. Current was this 150? I'm still not quite getting this 155 per litre basis. Did we actually pay 155 a litre at midnight? I don't think the price was that high. I don't think we did pay that. I'm not sure what that means. I'm not sure if that's. Yeah, I might have to do a bit of Googling at some point and make sure I'm properly understanding what's actually going on. Because it's. There's yesterday's fuel costs. See this, we spent 96,000. I mean, is this? I'm wondering if I should buy the fuel. How much is this? Let's put 1,000 litres in there. 1,000 litres would cost 6,000. That can't be right. As a 5k delivery charge for immediate delivery. Let's get rid of that. Yeah, so that is tracking correctly, 120 something per litre. I'm not quite sure. Refuel daily at market price. Yeah, let's put that, but I'm not sure. I'm not quite sure what that's meant to represent, because I don't believe we've actually paid 155 a litre for fuel at any point. I don't remember seeing this number getting anywhere near that. Not sure. And I don't think it's representative of the sale price either. I think, yeah, it's just no. I do have to know if I go fixed. What's that? That's at 126. Don't know. Oh well. I'll look it up. See if we can't get to the bottom of it at some point. Right. What else is occurring? We're doing alright in the cash. 392,000. It's good. Now, do we? Oh yeah, I said I was going to do some research with this money, didn't I? We need to get escalators sorted. One-way taxiways, one-way paths. I'm not sure about that at the moment. Credit reporting we need to get done. Lower property tax will get done. Gate control not worried about. Land expansion not right now. Advanced security and advanced ticketing, so that's the ability to assign gates to a particular ticketing zone. And remote security stations, remote baggage scanners for more efficient security. And assign ID checks to baggage scanners and baggage scanners to metal detectors or body detectors for precise flow control. That will become handy, I think. Some escalators ongoing. Credit reporting comes after that. We'll get one-way paths done as well. So once we do build the upper level, I would like to have some control over passenger flow. Right, let's let that run on a little bit. I'd like to get the credit report in today. Mate, do you know what? Did we do the maintenance control? We did do maintenance control, right. We're going to take a look at that. Maintenance. So, aircraft gates, all aircraft gates, I want to have at 95%. Oh, 90% is the maximum you can have, okay. Aircraft gate large, aircraft gate small remote. Where is runways? Where's asphalt runway and concrete runway? Still only maintained during window, obviously, but other stuff, so stuff that's not critical like that, we can set to do whenever the bloody hell you like, basically. So arcade blaster game is normal and anytime. Driver game normal anytime. So basically this means as soon as they hit their trigger point of needing maintenance, it'll get done, and it won't always wait till the outage window, and the outage window is between midnight and it's after midnight for 4 hours. Now, I have a flight that, if it runs perfectly to time, doesn't leave until 1:30 in the morning, and I have a flight in at 6 a.m. So really, we need the maintenance window to start at 1:30 and run for 4 hours. So we'll do that as well, because otherwise we run the risk of. So actually, let's say 1:45 for 4 hours, and no, it's going to be for 4 hours, which means at 4:45, whatever happens, they will walk away. Hopefully. But anything else, anything that's not a runway or not a gate, can be done without a problem. So baggage scanners can be done wherever you like, finish anytime. Body scanners, normal, anytime. Concrete runner, that remains high. and only during the window. In fact, I'm setting the runways to urgent and only during window. Metal detectors, normal, anytime. Walkways, normal, anytime. In fact, walkways, when we get them, they should really be only during the window. Remote package scanners, normal anytime, and you're on normal anytime. Now, the risk with setting all the security stuff to normal anytime is we could lose one of these or two of these for a short period of time for maintenance, and it wouldn't be a major problem. If they all decide to go, to a point at which they need maintenance all at the same time, then we've got a problem. But they're all quite variable. So this one here is at 84.37%. So why is that not being maintained? It's a body scanner, isn't it? Oh, right, so the target's 80%. So if I set that to 85, and the back scanner's to 85, I'd rather have them in better condition anyway. And the metal detectors. See, that's being done. It's fine. I was just being a bit wussy. Not worried about the arcade games. Phone chargers, remote package scanners, yeah, they can get at 85. Toilet stalls and urinals can be at 80, that's fine. Moving walkway will take to 90 as well. That's okay. So we have the workers, we might as well maintain things properly. How's our research going? Done escalators. Credit report is queuing. Advanced security's got 7 hours left. So once that's done, I believe after that it should be credit reporting. And then we'll have a look at that, and we'll probably have hit the end of stream time for tonight. So it's, I know it's not been the most exciting of streams in terms of construction and expansion, but maybe a bit more of an insight into the financial side of running the airport and the potential risks. Nearly 500,000. That's very good, isn't it? Does that mean we're doing some serious money now? Still lost a bit on the fuel. Fuel lost. Yeah, we are not doing well on this fuel. I think we are overpaying. I'm not quite sure how to get around that. We're absorbing it at the moment anyway. It's not bankrupting us, so I'll wait until we get until I've done a bit of research before I start messing around with those settings. I want to determine what the problem is. What have we got in the tank? 29,000 litres. Interesting. Maybe there's something we've got to do with operations to negotiate this price or something. I really... Oh, mind you, that doesn't help. Tracking markets is 0. Right, that's going back up. Deary me. What are we doing? Oh, what we're researching now. One-way parts. It really doesn't want to prioritise this credit reporting thing for some reason. It's being difficult. thinking I might have to, when we do fix this area downstairs, I might move those doors right the way up here, so ticketing can kind of be this area, or this area here, with a divider. So you sort of go through a big ticketing lounge, come into a big security lounge down here, and then go up your stairs with a full divide there, and you come back down on arrivals on this side in this area with your baggage suite here and pickups here. That's roughly what we're going to go with, I think. It'll be a nightmare changing it in an active airport, but we'll find a way. I have faith. Oop. Cool, look at that cash, 676 now. How are we doing on this? Our credit reporting's done, let's take a look. Okay, so debt to income 100%, airport value 55%, credit history 12%. I guess that goes down as time goes on. And airport value, I don't know why it's only 55%. Because we've got this negative revenue adjustment here. I don't know what that means. It's up 15% of income taken off. Resources on hand, object value, payments, foundations, land. So that's the worth of what we're sat on. Not sure what our revenue adjustment's all about. Minus 340 P&L. I don't know. 15% of something. Unless it's where are we? Unless it's the sum of that, and then 15% of whatever that is deducted to make the value of your airport. Maybe that's how it works. Okay. Not quite sure. Or it's 15% of revenue over time, maybe, I don't know. Oh, we just took a hit. Of course we took a hit, we bought fuel, didn't we? We have plenty in the network now. Did we make money on today's fuel? Yesterday's fuel? No, we still took a loss. How bizarre. I swear it's someone to see maybe this is the problem. Look how high the fuel price is now in the middle of the night. Maybe that is what's going on. Maybe the fuel is spiking in the middle of the night because everyone's getting deliveries. And what we actually need to do is buy the fuel in the middle of the day when the price is low. Anyway, I said I'd look it up. I will look it up. Right. I think now that we're stabilised and we've done a load of research, we know what's going on and we have a plan, I'm going to call it a night for tonight, and the next time I stream, which I think is it tomorrow? It might be tomorrow. Yeah, it is. It's Friday tomorrow, isn't it? Yeah, so tomorrow evening we will begin the build of the second floor of the terminal, and see if we can get that configured, and if we manage it, get the gates turned on upstairs and move the boarding to the upper floor, which would be excellent. So yeah, thank you very much for joining me this evening. I know it was a bit short notice, so apologies for that, and also apologies for it not necessarily being the most exciting of streams. But I do hope you have enjoyed it. Thank you as always for watching. I really appreciate you doing so. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.